All right, today for Tampa Explained, we're going to cover New Tampa, kind of the northern side of the Tampa proper area. Here we go. I'm Sam, and thanks for coming by the Living in Tampa channel, where we make videos every single week about what it's like to live and move to the Tampa, Florida area. If that's something you want to follow along with, don't forget to subscribe. I'm also a licensed realtor in the state of Florida, so if you have any real estate specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. My phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. In this Tampa Explained series, I've been just trying to break down the city of Tampa into chunks that make sense for you. If you're moving here, if you're thinking about this area as a potential home for you and maybe for your family, it's confusing. I just want to start with that. It's confusing the way that the city and the unincorporated areas interact and how all that doesn't make sense. Unless you've lived here a long time. If you've lived here a long time, it makes sense just perfectly and you don't understand why anyone else is confused. But I moved here a little over a year ago and started really researching this city and starting to try to understand what makes it special. So this New Tampa area, which you see right here on the map, is really this northern area of the city. This area was annexed into the city in 1998. So, it could have just been an unincorporated part of the county. Developers could have done all kinds of development there and it would have been part of the county. It still would have had Tampa addresses, but it wouldn't have been managed and taxed by the city. I did another video a while back about New Tampa and kind of explained some of this annexation process and some of the pushback that they got from the community. That video is linked up above if you want to check that out. I'm not going to focus too much on that for this video since I have talked about it before. What we are going to focus on in this video is the criteria for Tampa Explained. So that criteria is proximity, style, size, and cost. But before we get into that criteria, let's actually just define the boundaries of this area a little bit. So right here on the map, you see that the southern border of this area is really like the University of South Florida area, the USF area. The western border of this area is really Interstate 275. The northern border is really County Line Road, which is the county line between Hillsborough County and Pasco County. And then the eastern border is Morris Bridge Road. And there is a big wilderness preserve over in this area, so the border on that east side is kind of wilderness as well. And bordering this New Tampa area to the west is the Lutz area, which is in Hillsborough County and Pasco County. And then to the north is Wesley Chapel, which is entirely in Pasco County. There is a little chunk of the city right here to the south of New Tampa, kind of in between the Hillsborough River and New Tampa, that I didn't include in the video about Tampa Heights and Seminole Heights. It didn't feel like it really fit in that area, but I just kind of want to point out this area really quickly. This is like where the zoo is, where Busch Gardens is, where the University of South Florida is. A lot of these are older craftsman style homes, like in the Sulphur Springs area, and then a lot of kind of low concrete style 60s Florida homes as well. But with all of this big infrastructure in this area, it is a pretty industrial area. As you exit this area to the east, you go into Temple Terrace, which we'll cover in the east suburbs video coming up. Some real key features to this area just south of New Tampa is really the university and Busch Gardens and the zoo, but also the Moffitt Cancer Center, which people often come here and are treated at that center. People often reach out to me and they're coming here for just a few months. They want help finding a short-term rental and they want to know where they should go. There's also a big VA hospital right in this area, just right along one of the main roads. All right, let's start with proximity for the New Tampa area. There are really three roads that go north and south through this New Tampa area. On the west side of the area, Interstate 275, kind of right up the middle, Bruce B. Downs Boulevard, and then to the east, I-75. The commute to downtown from this area is really not too bad. I mean, in busy commute times, 8 in the morning and 5 p.m., it's going to add some time. It's going to be slow. It's going to be, 30, maybe 40 minutes some days, but it's likely faster at other times of the day. The drive to the airport is pretty similar, with 275 kind of looping you around the downtown area and then over toward the airport. If you do want to go to the beach, the drive to the beach isn't too bad, and there's a couple different ways that you could go. You could take 275 down through the city. You could go down to St. Petersburg on that same road, or if you wanted to go to Clearwater, you can, get off of 275 right by the airport and head over on Highway 60. Or if you wanted to go to some beaches that are further north of that, you could take other roads to the west to the Gulf Coast from the New Tampa area. The proximity to shopping and other amenities is really easy. All this stuff is really close. This is a master planned community, and there's a lot of stuff, shopping and golf courses and things to do like that, all mixed in within these communities. Also, the proximity to the University of South Florida is really, really great. If you are a student or you're a professor or on staff in some other way, then that is very, very close to this area, and it's really, really accessible. Okay, next up is size. The last census for this area was in 2000, and the population of the New Tampa area was a little over 22,000 at the time. I think it's increased quite a bit with the new development of apartment buildings and other housing. So let's say between 22 and 25,000 for this area. But it's very connected to Tampa, so it doesn't feel like a small town. But while it doesn't feel like a small town, it doesn't feel like a busy metro either. It does feel very suburban. Even the ways that grocery stores are kind of disguised in more appealing looking strip malls, all those kind of things just feel like a thoughtful suburb in this New Tampa area. The style of this New Tampa area is really late 90s suburb. Houses are very similar to each other, very kind of Florida 90s stucco houses, kind of ranging in all different sizes. And they do range in all different sizes and types. There are also, apartments and condos and townhouses, and then average size single family homes, and then even bigger homes. And then as you get into Pebble Creek, you kind of have these little like small exclusive gated areas. And even in the Tampa Palms neighborhood, you have some of that, where just a little section of the neighborhood is gated and the houses are bigger and it feels a little more nice and exclusive. One thing that stands out to me about these neighborhoods compared to the rest of the area is they often have these long winding roads through them. And it makes the neighborhood have a really unique feel for, houses to be along this one like main corridor through the neighborhood. And then maybe on the other side of the road, it's like a wilderness area. This is a fun thing about the Tampa Palms neighborhood and about the neighborhoods in Pebble Creek. They kind of go back and really deep into this area. You can even see from the map. And so what it actually feels like because of that is it feels like you're surrounded by 30 or 40 homes instead of being surrounded by hundreds of homes. So it makes each little section of these neighborhoods feel a little smaller. And our final criteria in the Tampa Explained series is cost. Cost does go down as you get further and further from the center of the city. But this isn't that far from the center of the city. It's still Tampa. It is a nice suburb of the area. And it does get a little bit cheaper in this area compared to some other suburbs that are closer to the city center, like West Chase, which we'll cover in future videos. Single family homes in this area really start in the 300,000s for like a 3-bedroom home, and they go up pretty far from there. If you are in Pebble Creek in a 5-bedroom house with a big pool and it's like a gated neighborhood with a guard at the gate, you're going to be more in the 500, the 550 range. A lot of these neighborhoods are situated around golf courses, but membership to the golf club is not required. So it can be something that is added on, but it's not required within your HOA fees. And as I said previously, townhouses and condos are accessible in this area as well, and those would come in a little bit cheaper than the single family homes. I hope you found this information useful. Don't forget to check out the rest of the videos we've been making about Tampa Explained to help you understand this area. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any real estate specific questions. My phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. Thanks for coming by.